You're in danger.
We have a problem. Let's go get Britt.
General Hospital.
What happened after August 29's cliffhanger episode, which ended with Britt discovering Josslyn and Vaughn were being held captive and Judge Heron's body floating in the water. Labor Day weekend in the U.S. means there will be no new episode of General Hospital on Monday, September 1st, 2025, with ABC airing an encore of a January episode that featured Rick and Ava making a plea, Dante confronting Anna, and Brad making an outrageous request. It means there is one extra day before viewers get to see what happens after Friday, August 29's cliffhanger episode, which ended with Britt discovering Josslyn and Vaughn were being held captive, only to leave them locked in the room and Judge Heron's body floating in the water. Earlier in the episode, we had seen the judge make a call to, presumably, Sidwell, to check she was covered, as she has been compromised in the case against Willow. It's unclear how she ended up in the water, but Drew's abuse of power has reached catastrophic levels, as he was seen threatening Carly and Michael over the custody arrangements. Spoilers for this coming week reveal a shocking act of violence will occur. Elsewhere, Willow's delusions over her relationship with Drew continued, as she told Elizabeth she had rekindled their romance and trusted that he was the man to bring her children back to her, because he always gets what he wants. But at what cost, Willow? Drew continues to be at the center of all the drama in Port Charles at the moment, with Portia finally telling Trina that Drew had been blackmailing her over the decision to falsify Heather's medical records, while Kai also discovered the truth of Drew's cruelty, as he overheard the businessman telling Curtis how happy he is to watch his family suffer. This week, things may finally come to a head, as Michael will learn new intel in his fight against Drew after a tough week, while Elizabeth will continue to support Willow, despite her frustrations. And of course, the entire town will be rocked when the news of the murder comes to light. A shocking act of violence occurs. Carly issues a warning. Michael is dismayed. Elizabeth advocates for Willow. Sonny delivers grim news. Michael confides in Brooklyn. Lucas cautions Liz. Anna and Dante respond to a 911 call. Portia makes an announcement. News of a crime sends shockwaves through Port Charles. Anna and Chase interview suspects. Trina is shaken. Nina makes a risky move. Curtis confides in Jordan. Jason is shocked. Josslyn and Vaughn fear for their lives. Brennan manipulates Anna. Alexis is floored. Michael gets new intel. Port Charles is a pressure cooker set to explode this week, and the fallout will reshape lives forever. From the grim confines of the crypt to the tense corridors of the PCPD, no character is safe from the seismic shifts coming their way. As the dust settles from Jason Morgan's return, every relationship, secret, and fragile truce is tested. This is not a week to miss. Here is your detailed, day-by-day breakdown of everything happening from Monday, September 2nd, through Thursday, September 5th. Monday, September 2nd. Secrets unearthed and alliances forged. The week kicks off with the aftermath of the explosive confrontations at the Metro Court. All eyes are on Jason Morgan and Drew Kane, whose brotherly bond is strained to its absolute breaking point. Drew's rage over Jason's alliance with Cyrus Renaud and the danger it brought to Scout is palpable. Jason will attempt to justify his impossible choices, but Drew is in no mood to listen. Their conflict forces Carly and Sam into uncomfortable positions, as their loyalties are torn between the two men they love. Meanwhile, the search for Lois Chirulo reaches a critical juncture. Brooklyn Quartermain, consumed by fear, leans heavily on Harrison Chase. Their investigation takes a dramatic turn when they follow a new lead that points them directly back to someone within Port Charles's powerful elite. This shared mission deepens their connection, but the stress also threatens to reveal the carefully guarded secret about baby Bailey Louise. At General Hospital, Elizabeth Baldwin's world continues to crumble. Haunted by the ghost of Finn, she confides in Laura Collins. Laura, with her keen intuition and decades of experience with Port Charles chaos, looks at Liz with deep concern. She gently suggests that Liz's trauma might be manifesting in harmful ways, urging her to seek help. But Liz is convinced her experiences are real, setting her on a collision course with the truth. The most chilling scenes of the day belong to Nina Reeves and Cyrus Renaud. Trapped in the crypt, Nina's initial terror gives way to a desperate cunning. Cyrus, enjoying his role as captor and preacher, monologues about redemption and second chances. He reveals chilling pieces of his grand plan, hinting that Nina is merely a pawn in a much larger game designed to topple his enemies and reclaim his power base. His psychological manipulation is a masterclass in terror, and Nina realizes that her only way out is to play along with his deranged sermon. Tuesday, September 3rd, Desperate Measures and Psychological Warfare. Tuesday's episode focuses on desperate rescues and escalating mind games. Sonny Corinthos and Anna Devane are finally on the same page, combining their resources to find Nina. Their investigation leads them to cross paths with Dante Falconeri, whose own search for his father's would-be assassin is heating up. The trio forms an unlikely but formidable alliance, realizing their targets are connected. Dante's professional skills provide a crucial breakthrough, narrowing down the list of Cyrus's possible hiding places. Back in the crypt, the tension reaches a fever pitch. Cyrus's demands become more unhinged. In a shocking move, he forces Nina to make a phone call, not to beg for her life, but to deliver a message that will further his schemes. This call could be to Sonny, to Drew, or even to Charlotte Cassadine, and its repercussions will be felt for weeks to come. Nina must choose her words carefully, knowing her life hangs in the balance. Across town, Ava Jerome sees an opportunity in the chaos. Ever the opportunist, she works to solidify her position with Sonny, positioning herself as a loyal and indispensable ally. She subtly undermines Nina's absence, suggesting to anyone who will listen that Nina's disappearance might be another one of her dramatic ploys. However, her daughter, Avery, begins asking difficult questions about where Nina is, forcing Ava to confront the human cost of her manipulations. Josslyn Jax and Dex Heller continue to navigate their complicated relationship. With Jason back and the threat of Sonny's empire looming larger than ever, Dex's double life becomes increasingly dangerous. Josslyn, terrified for his safety, pleads with him to consider stepping back. But Dex, feeling he is closer than ever to proving Sonny's brutality, is determined to see his mission through. Their argument highlights the impossible choice between love and justice. This is the day everything changes. Sonny, Anna, and Dante's investigation culminates in a high-stakes raid on the crypt. Expect a tense, action-packed sequence as they breach Cyrus's lair. The confrontation is violent and decisive. Cyrus won't go down without a fight, and his fanatical belief in his own righteousness makes him incredibly dangerous. The resolution of this standoff will have major consequences for the future of Port Charles's criminal underworld. Nina's rescue is emotional and raw. She collapses into Sonny's arms,